Hi, Democrats. Today is Monday, March 7th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. Happy Monday. So I want to, as a reminder, this is March and it's History Month. And I like to look up new facts so that we're learning something new and not just regurgitating all the ones that we already know. And so I want to run a name past you guys. Susanna Salter. She was the mayor of Argonia, Kansas. She was the first woman mayor in the nation, and she was the first woman to be elected to political office in the nation. That's Susanna Salter. She was born in 1860. Kind of an interesting fact. I'd never heard the name until I went looking. Kind of an interesting fact. So that's the first woman elected to political office in the United States. Just kind of want to mention that she was elected back in the I think right around 1900, right around the turn of the century, kind of before women could actually vote. So it's kind of a weirdo deal, but yay. All righty. So let me throw another number at you. 39. I want to throw a number at you, 39. That's how many days until the filing deadline. That's how many days until the filing deadline. So you have 39 days to find a candidate that you can vote for. Help me find a candidate that you will vote for. And if you can't find one, that candidate might be you. Give us a shout. Let's talk. 39 days until the filing deadline, which is April 15th. So filing is this year's between April 13th and 15th. You have to do it in person. All of the information is out on the Oklahoma State Election Board website, as well as on okdemocrats.org. Click on elections, and we have all the information there. And that means that there are 246 days until the general election. So 5 weeks to find somebody to run and 8 months until the general election. Time is ticking. I started talking to you guys about this when the number was, 450 days. We're down to 246 days. So help me find a candidate. You're just going to keep hearing me say it for the next 39 days. Help me find a candidate that you will feel confident in voting for. Now I want to talk about what's happening at our Capitol. Our legislators, which are in a super minority, are facing the fight. They're facing the big fight this week. Things are out of committee, and now they're being talked about on the floor, considered on the floor to be passed in each chamber of the House. So the House folks will vote on it and move it to the Senate and vice versa. And when both houses say yes, then it goes to the governor's office for his signature to turn it into law. Advocacy is key. You'll see us talking about particular bills that we are for and what we're against. Advocacy is key. It is important that we all participate by letting our elected officials know what we think about specific bills. And it counts. Even if you leave a message, their legislative assistants and executive assistants are keeping count of how many people are calling and expressing their preference or their displeasure at certain bills. So advocacy is key. I learned this when I was hanging out with chairs and vice chairs from other states. Our rights are not static, and we cannot forget that although we thought something was a right or we think something is a right, our current legislature, they're looking for ways to erode our rights, erode our voting rights, erode, just our registration, erode the rights with regards to medical marijuana, rights as to what's happening in our schools. They're looking to change what we think is already status quo, and we have to pay attention. And I mean, if we needed no other reminder of why we need to pay attention, and it's Ukraine. I'm not going to go into all of that because I'm not an expert on that. But what I do know is that was a sovereign nation who was minding their business. Another nation decided to invade them, and their rights are being violated. We have to vote. We have to vote to make sure that our rights remain our rights. I haven't talked about the governor in quite some time because it just puts me in a mood, but I have to talk about the fact that he sent a letter to President Biden asking for President Biden to cease importing oil from Russia because Oklahoma stands ready to provide oil for the nation. That's what he said in his letter. And then the oil producers in the state of Oklahoma went to the press and they said, whoa, no, what we're going to put first are our shareholders. We're going to make sure that our shareholders are made whole before we worry about what's going on in the country or what's going on in the world. We're going to make sure it's profit over people. And so without having a conversation, because he's the governor, he could have had a conversation. Without having a conversation, he sent over this performative letter just to get attention, just to make sure that we were talking about him. So governor said, I am talking about you. And I'm telling you, I see you. We see you with your fake demand letter. We see you with your fake demand letter. And apparently so did our oil producers, because they came on right on the heels and were like, whoa. No, be clear. We're going to put profit over people all day long. And I think you kind of knew it, but I guess it felt good and it sounded good to people who might still be thinking about voting for you, that you were doing something. But how about you do something productive that actually enriches the lives of Oklahomans? Just a thought. Okay, before I end, I just want to make sure that I recognize that today is the 57th anniversary of Bloody Sunday. It's another opportunity where citizens took to the street to demand their rights. And we have to continue to do this. Our rights are not static. Just because we have them today does not mean we will have them tomorrow. We always have to use our voice and make sure that those who are making the laws know where we stand. Take the example of Bloody Sunday. Alrighty, thanks for joining me. I will be out for the rest of the week, but I will have powerful women sitting in for me this week because it's Women's History Month. I'll have powerful women sitting in for me this week. So join tomorrow and see who we have guest hosting and what they have to talk about. But before then, tonight at 6:30, join Scott Hamilton on the Hamilton Report, where he'll be joined by Jana Harkins, who is the president of the Oklahoma Federation of Democratic Women, and hear what's going on in that organization. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.